Of course, hey, big game for you guys, both defensively and offensively. It was a little bit of a crunch there at the beginning. What did you guys kind of do to kind of break beyond that? Or what do you think happened tonight, actually?
I mean, I definitely think we had an all right game. I mean, it definitely was not our best, too many penalties. I mean, we went into the locker room, we talked about it, we got our heads straight, we came back out, and we executed.
Absolutely, and man, you were a demon there tonight on defense. What was going on there? Was it just your plug lineman kind of open up the holes? What was going on there?
I think most of it was just, the first game jitters, just so excited to finally get out there, finally able to hit another person, someone on the other team. And I plan on doing that every single game from now on.
And the running backs, you guys are definitely the successful core of the attack tonight. How do you feel about getting that running game going? Of course, there was a couple of hiccups early on, but do you feel like you kind of found your momentum, kind of found your what do you think?
It's definitely a big key. I mean, in any sport, anything in football, you got a run game. You're going to be a good team either way. I mean, I got great linemen in front of me. I got confidence in them, and we executed. And
how do you feel about this offense? Oh yeah, jump in there, man. I was looking for you. And well, one question for you, sir, which is, I keep bringing it up, but I think it's very interesting, which is when you were a freshman, you said, I'm going to be the guy that's going to take over for Ty Campbell. Here you are, first start. What do you think?
There's definitely stuff we can all improve on, but, I mean, it was a good game. Dom was running over people, doing all, but, yeah, I mean, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of us all, and there's more to come from here.
Absolutely, and a solid defensive effort. When you got a good defense behind you, as a quarterback, does it make risk taking a little easier, knowing that, hey, if things go south, my defense can stand up and kind of get my back?
Oh yeah, for sure. It kind of takes the pressure off me to really, produce so much. And I mean, it's easy when you just hand the ball to Dom every time. He just gets 15 yards to carry, but yeah, it's definitely a relief knowing that your defense is there to back you up.
And first start at the high school level, what do you think? How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I mean, it can only go up from here, but I'm proud of him.
All right, and Dom, 3 touchdowns, maybe more. I believe it's 3 touchdowns, but what the heck happened tonight? It just seemed like you were finding a hole, finding a crease. What was going on there?
Oh, we all practiced it in practice. We got it executed well, and I mean, I'm going to keep coming in every play I got. And I'm going to get tired, but I mean, I'm going to get a break. Dayton's going to come in. He's going to do his job, and I'm going to come back out and do it again.
And one more question for you guys all. Next week, home opener against a very talented Lincoln Prep team. What do you think about next week?
I got it. You got it?
All right. So, as we saw, there was a lot of penalties, but if there were no penalties, this score could have been a lot higher than it was. So, I think we'll get them fixed in practice, and I think we'll be ready for anyone.
We'll definitely fix it over practice.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, no, that's all I got. Hey, congratulations.
Last year, I remember talking to you, I think against Southeast and Spitten, where it was a little bit slower of a start, but you guys picked it up after that. I know you don't like to start slow, but what did you see out there in the slow start, and what did you guys do better as the game wore along to kind of turn things around?
Well, I think everybody saw that we were shooting ourselves in the foot bad. And, when we made mistakes tonight, they weren't the 5-yard variety. They were the 10 and 15-yard variety. Too many holes, too many chops, too many push in the backs, that type of stuff. Those were good athletes. And when you play good athletes that move very, very quickly, all of a sudden your hands move up and then you grab cloth, and when you do that, it's going to be a hold. So I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I know we had 150 at least yards called back tonight. So you can't do that against a good football team and come out on top. But, other than that, I'm so happy with these kids. We've had so much adversity with I'm not even going to get into everything, but we've had so many things that have happened, and they understand that you can't do anything about that. You can't look back, can't change it. So we're going to be moving forward. The thing with us, we're either young or inexperienced. Take a pick, except for about 3 or 4 guys. Alec Leesby, I thought, had a great first performance tonight. He's a sophomore for us at quarterback. Our line came out and did a nice job. They definitely owned the line of scrimmage. There's no doubt about that tonight. We have just got to get back home, and we'll eat, we'll watch some tape, and we've got to get some things fixed.
I know it's kind of trite to talk about the fact that it's the first game of the season and there's going to be a lot of penalties. I mean, everyone always talks about that. But when you think about that as far as what you might expect in the first game, as far as and compare it to what you actually got out of it, and I know you still have to look at the tape and everything like that, but how does it kind of compare with what you might have been able to expect from a team that is very young and still is replacing a lot of guys?
Well, I'd like to tell you that what we got tonight is pretty much what I thought we'd get tonight, to be quite honest with you. The positions that we had to replace, and I knew the athletes that they are. I mean, I kind of knew this. I didn't know we was going to be to the extent that it was. Obviously, we got mistakes. Kids make mistakes. They're learning opportunities. That's what they are. And we got about 20 learning opportunities we're going to get taken care of when we get back home. But these guys are going to be okay because they care about each other, they love each other, and they have each other's back. And they play 4 to 6 A to B. That's our thing. They do that very, very well. So, again, don't get me wrong. I just saw a bunch of mistakes, and that's kind of playing on me right now. But I couldn't be happier as far as a first football game for a young and experienced group of kids.
I think Northeast might have found something when they put Shamari Wade, number 11, at quarterback with all those runs. He ran for over 100 yards tonight. And I'll tell you what, Northeast has had their struggles in the last few years, but I really felt like they have improved since last year. They have a lot of guys back, and they finally got a full off-season to work on some things. Did you feel like they were better this year than they were in the past?
Yeah, I told their coach after the game, I said, you guys are a lot better football team than you were. That football team is going to win a game. I don't think they've won one in the last couple of years. And their kids had every reason, as we were tempoing them a little bit, and they had their heads down, they had their arms down, they couldn't get lined up for a while. I thought we got them, and the next series they're back with their hand there, coming back at us again. In the past, they just it'd have been 60-something quick, it would have been over. So their kids didn't quit, and they got kids back, and maybe they found something there. That's what I told that coach at the end. I said, you guys are going to be okay.
One more question about tonight's game. When it was 13-0 still on the first drive of the second half, and Northeast is driving down the field with Wade at quarterback, you had a big turnover on downs there with Hunter Barton making that tackle, with Benton Barton making that tackle. And I really felt like that was a huge play because it kept the game from becoming a one-possession game and really making it tighter. Did you feel like that was a big moment of the game?
Absolutely, it was huge because I think it was 2 or 3 yards. He stopped us 2 or 3 yards short of the first down because I'm like, did we stop it? I couldn't tell. One thing our kids are, we work very hard, that we are good open field tacklers. And if you can't open field tackle well, these guys, they got hips, they got moves. It would have been a lot different situation. Riker Smith, my gosh, he made 2 or 3 beautiful open field tackles tonight against kids who have hips and they're quick. So, that makes you feel good because a lot of times high school kids, they don't open field tackle very well. Our kids do. Because we were able to get a stop and kind of turn things around a little bit. But consistency is a huge thing in football. It is just, especially offensive football, it is huge. And we've got to work a little bit harder to find some consistency in what we're doing. We showed flashes here and there, and then we shoot ourselves in the foot. Or I called a couple of timeouts there before half trying to get the ball back and put another one in. And then we ended up having 2 penalties, and it was 3rd and 30 or something at one point. Those types of things, they have to go away.
Lincoln Prep next week, that's the toughest that the Interscholastic League has to offer most years. Talk about the increased challenge that you will have from a program like that as opposed to some of the other teams in the IL that you've played in past years.
There's 103 kids on the roster. Their backs are 220 and 225. The good thing is they graduated a 295-pound quarterback. They went to go play Division I football, playing defensive end. So they got some boys now, and they have D1 kids every year that go somewhere out of that program. So it's going to be a very different situation than what we saw tonight as far as our opponent. We got some work to do. But that's what the week is for.
Coach Wallace, thanks for taking the time as always. Good luck next week.
You bet. Thank you.
And I just had one question, which is, you get sorry to poach your interview, man, but you go.
That makes me feel good. We can get this done faster.
But thank you for letting me do that.
Oh, no problem. And you kind of got a lot of my questions. I hate to poach this interview, but one more question, which is, you had a lot of first-year players out there who are really playing like they weren't first-year players. How encouraging is that for next week when you got a lot of underclassmen, a lot of guys who'd never even been on a football field their entire high school career coming out and performing like this tonight? How encouraging is that for the rest of the season?
It's extremely encouraging. I'm looking out there seeing freshmen rotate in, a whole ton of sophomores rotating, or kids who hadn't played. Riker Smith comes to mind, had a great night on both sides of the football. He hadn't played since the 7th grade and he's a senior. We've got that type of situation, it seems like, all over the place. But again, they love each other, they care about each other, they have each other's back, they understand the culture. We're going to go and play hard. And if it means we win the game, great. If it means we played a better team than we were and we didn't win, doesn't matter. We're going to give the same effort, we're going to love each other, we're going to take care of each other, we're going to come back to practice next week, and we're going to get ready for the next opponent. It just doesn't matter. That's just kind of how we do things. So, and you got kids that understand that. They're fun to coach.
All right. Well, no, that's all I got.